Hi, good morning. Okay, so I said we were going to do some coffee painting today, and I've got my instant coffee, and we're just going to use a tiny bit. It's going to last forever, so you're definitely going to have to drink it after you're done. But okay, so you can get it at the dollar store. Not expensive. Don't get anything expensive. Real coffee doesn't work. It's just kind of makes the same color. Although you could use it to put paper in and then take the paper out, and it makes a really nice kind of like a stain. You can make your papers look really old that way. It's really cool to do that. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick thing on the coffee, and I'm going to show you a fun thing that we're going to do, and then I'm going to be sharing a couple things after that. But let me just do this really fast because I don't want us to waste any time with our lesson here. All right, so I've got my board here. I'm going to take a little bit of coffee. Now, of course, when we talk about value, we talk about colors going from lighter to darker or darker to lighter as the same color. So I can take this scoop of coffee. I'm going to take a little bit there. I'm going to move a little bit over here, which would be a little bit less, and then even a little bit less from there. So you can see that we are really separating out the amounts. And then even in between, and I have got my water here, I'm just going to add, even in between we can pull water to make different colors. So let's just mix this one up. You're going to get a great color. Plus it's going to smell super good. I just used a regular plate. We can easily clean it off. You can you already see the difference? I've got a super dark tone here. And as I added the water out, I got really light out here. So that's a really cool way of looking at it. I got some more water over here. Really make this one light. Super light even. Even lighter than that. And then as you go over what you're working on, you can get darker. So if you wanted to do just a quick example of what you would see here, I could take my paper. I could do a really dark kind of square. Just a nice dark one. Look how dark we got there. It's always fun to make a little bit of a sample of the colors that you used when you're doing something. I could go a little bit lighter next to it. Super cool. And even lighter next to that one. So already you can see there's 3 different values here. The change in color is pretty awesome. As I go over it, I can change the color, make it a little bit darker even, or lighter, but you get the idea. I love that this is something that you have in your house and you can easily work with. Okay, so let's take a look at what we could do with this. I'm going to start off with the tree shape. We are going to start from the bottom. Move this up. You're going to have to go lightly with your pencil. Remember, we want to go light so that we can erase. So we're going to start off at the bottom. We're going to make a very light line coming up. We're going to get up here and we're going to curve around like that. And then about the width of a tree, we're going to come up to the top here, a little bit higher, and curve around like that. Okay, so you can kind of get an idea of what we've got here. Do you see this? Is that bright enough? You see that? Kind of there. I want you to go super light because we're going to be doing some erasing. Then, from there, you're going to take the inside of here and you're going to go out all the way like a big swirl to there, and then you're going to meet this one. Now you've got that. Super cool. Okay, now from here we're going to add on branches. So about right here, I think I'm going to add a branch that's going to go this way this time. And around like that. And I think I'll do one on the bottom. Now, I don't know if you recognize what we're doing yet. Very famous painting. Do you know what this is? Oh, I don't like the way that one came out. I'm going to erase here, make this one a little bit thinner. Very famous painting, very famous artist. I thought this would be perfect using the coffee because the idea of value in a tree trunk is so beautiful. Okay, so get a very good idea of what that might look like. And right here, do you see these? We are going to erase that so we have a clear line into our trunks. We want our branches to look really nice and clean. Okay, just going to add a couple of extra swirls like this. Here, I can go over this way. I can add one there. I think I'm going to add one here. Let's see. Ooh, this is fun. I think I'll add another one like that. Over this way. It's Gustav Klimt. Do you know who he is? You really need to look him up because he's extremely famous and he does the most beautiful work. Everything is usually on a palette of some gold. He always adds a lot of nice sparkle. Has a lot of impressionistic tones, even though he does a lot of people. Okay, so that kind of gives you an idea of where we're going. I'm going to erase all of the connecting lines right here. All of those, so that when I actually paint it, I won't have any of those lines, and eventually I will probably go over it again with a marker. I don't know, maybe. But if I erase all of these lines, now my tree is very much more realistic, in as much as a realistic tree can be that has all of these beautiful swirls. The other thing that Gustav Klimt does on this tree of life that you are creating is he adds some really fun details. He starts adding things. Oh, let's do a quick bottom layer here, like that. He adds things like circles and sections like this inside. Super fun. You can add a circle here, come down here, make some stars maybe. As you paint them, they'll look really fun. Okay, so you're going to fill that in with some really fun designs. I'm going to be giving you a link to a very awesome website where you're going to see some really cool paintings where you can practice this. Let's just do some quick painting. So I'm going to take my paint, my coffee paint. I'm just going to start going through my tree, avoiding the areas that I want to add those other colors to. Use a brush that's pretty pointed. And as I go through, you'll see that it'll spread out really nice. And then you can come back and add a little bit of dark in there. And it's just so perfect like a tree trunk. You get a really good feeling of how that looks. Not only that, you get very, I don't know, it's just very quiet and peaceful to just start painting these lines very cool, very carefully. Okay, as you do that, once again, I just want you to really pay attention to value and add some darker here. Make it look as realistic as you can. Super fun. I could draw mountains with my coffee. I could draw suitcases. I could draw a pair of shoes. Could draw a treasure map. I could do so many of, maybe something with a pirate ship. That'd be very cool. Maybe I could draw some really cool horse pictures with some beautiful horse manes. I think it's endless on what you could probably do with your coffee drawings. So anyway, I want you to take some time doing that. I want to show you what I came up with as I finished. So I started off with something that looks like this, like you're doing. I'm ending up with this kind of look to it. I'm not quite finished with it. I would like to go through and add some background. I don't think I'm going to do a blue background. I think I'm actually going to do a pink background. I have the watercolor set, pretty small, just like this, kind of glistening. It's super fun. And then I have this one that I carry around in my sketchbook. So you don't have to have huge sets of watercolors, and you can see how I use this as my palette. So have these available too. Fill in your other colors. It'll be super fun. I do think I'm going to go over it with a Sharpie, so I'll have a little bit more detail. So this is Gustav Klimt. We are working with coffee, super neat, and I'm going to give you a website. It's called artprojectsforkids.org, which is amazing. You're going to get every kind of thing that you want as far as drawing, and it's certainly step by step, which is really nice because sometimes you just need to know how to draw something and then you're going to add your own twist to it, which is super good. So, and drawing is so important. And yes, you can learn how to draw. I'm teaching myself how to draw all the time. I have books like this. I'm doing my portrait drawings. I'm really trying hard to learn how to draw some really good faces, and I want them to be a little bit more realistic than whimsical. So I'm working on my portrait drawing. So please don't think that drawing is a natural. It is a practice, and you have to practice it. It's just super important. Anyway, I hope you have a great time doing your coffee drawings, and I can't wait to see them. And your salt dough projects were over the top. Loved every single one of them. All right. If you don't have coffee, don't worry. Just use your regular watercolors. Use whatever you can. I don't know. Try Kool-Aid. See if you can come up with something besides coffee if you don't have coffee. Okay. Miss you guys so much. See you soon. Oh, did I stop it?